guys, and welcome back to my YouTube channel. I am Dr. Carmen Bryant. This is Overcoming Narcissist Abuse. Hopefully you are learning something from these videos. Thank you so much for joining me, and to all the new subscribers, thank you so much for being here with me, finding something valuable that I have to say that will help you change your life, change your mind, bring you awareness, help you to escape, help you to heal something. Thank you for joining me. Today I wanted to just briefly talk about this never-ending cycle of revenge. As you know, and many of you have been involved with narcissists, they always seek revenge. And you have to understand they're like little kids. If you're having an argument with them and you hang up on them, they have to get back in contact with you because of the fact that they want to hang up first. You break up, you cause a narcissistic injury, you discard them and break up, they get back with you so they can do the discarding. Everything they have to be in charge. They have to be in control of what is happening. And they always, they get with new sources of supply. And many of you guys know that once they leave you, and they connect with a new source of supply, it's not because that individual is better than you, because you are unique. You are created uniquely different than anybody else. When the mold was made for you, it's been broken after. There's no one like you. There's no one with your fingerprint, no one with your DNA. You are unique all by yourself. That is one person out of millions of people on this earth that you're focused on. And I understand that when you are so emotionally connected, and they're like parasites. Once they connect to someone, they try to totally take over their whole life and everything. A lot of you are coming out of these relationships sick. You're coming out of it, drained, overweight, underweight, unhealthy. When you reconnect with them, you'll notice yourself getting sick again. But if you ever notice it, now that you are the outsider looking in and you're looking at the new supply, the new supply might look good. They go to people, you probably put your foot down and say, that's it. I'm not, you have taken control. So they have lost a certain amount of control over you. So they need to find someone that has that hole that they can get into and begin to take over, like a disease, a parasite, like cancer. They want to take over. And so what they do is I don't care how popular the person that they connect with is. I don't care how wealthy they are, how many they can, like Bishop Jakes says, they can have more degrees than a thermometer. They can have more titles than a book. They may be out in public. They may be, everyone knows them. They're gorgeous. They're beautiful, whatever. But the narcissist doesn't look at that. They could care less. It may help them because it helps them with their image. It's not about that person. It's about what it does for them. And so they connect with someone that can give them copious amounts of fuel. To look good for a narcissist that's a somatic narcissist is a good thing for them because it makes them look good, in public in front of people. It has nothing to do with how the person looks. It's how they look with that person. They may have more, they've drained you of your fuel, or you just don't have the amount that they need. They need a higher fix, just like using drugs. The more drugs you use, the more you have to use, the more stronger the drugs become. The different types of drugs you begin to experiment with, because those drugs don't get you high anymore. Likewise for the narcissist, they find supply that can give them and they're in is an insatiable appetite for fuel. It's like a bottomless pit. It doesn't matter. They can go to the next person and it still won't fulfill them. Nothing fulfills them. And so yes, now they've connected with this individual, and if you notice, you'll notice that they were once beautiful. Now they look tired. They look, some of them look, dry. Some of them look like the crypt keeper now. Some of them have lost weight. Some of them have gained weight. Some of them just look sad. Some of them have gotten pale. Some of them have lost the luster in their hair, the twinkle in their eye. It looks like they're lost. It looks like, their mind is always, somewhere in the cloud. They're always daydreaming, but the longer they stay with them, and the more fuel that this narcissist needs, and the more hateful they become, the more they pull the life source out of the new supply or the supply. Now, if you have caused a narcissistic injury where you decided, I discarded, I don't want to go back, and you stood your ground, they're always trying to find a way to get back at you, to get revenge. Now, for some of you that don't have children with the narcissist, that's a good thing for you. And those of you that do, I understand. because they will attack the things, just like I said in the other videos, they'll attack the things that is most valuable to you. And for some of you, that is your children. Well, hopefully all of you, but that is your children. And so the sad part about it is a lot of you ask me, you're going through these court cases. A lot of you have emailed me, I need advice on, what this court. The problem is that coaches are also limited, because in reality, the court systems, the family lawyers, the legal systems, the domestic violence advocates and programs have to be educated on cluster B personality disorder. Now, my specialization is on the narcissist, who can, who can also have other personality disorders like borderline personality, like antisocial personality disorder, like psychopath, sociopath, and so these are the ones that we would call malignant. They're malignant in nature anyway, but the one that is identified as a malignant narcissist is one that is identified with antisocial personality disorder, or psychopath, sociopath, what was called at one point in time. But the biggest thing is to educate the lawyers, because the lawyers are about facts. They're not about emotions, they're about facts. Facts, and you do have some narcissistic lawyers. All about winning, so it's a challenge when they come up against a person that's a narcissist. But the bad part about it is a high conflict divorce, high conflict child custody cases, high conflict child support cases. And so, a lot of lawyers do not feel like engaging in this, because remember, the narcissist goes after anyone that will support you. They'll go after the reputation, they go after their credentials, they'll do anything to harass and attack the people that are even supporting you. Therapists, lawyers, doctors, anyone that does not go with their agenda, they will come out and attack them too. I've seen it happen. I've seen therapists lose their license over defending a client that they knew, this person has been subjected to this type of abuse. When we go to court and we sit as a witness, meaning that they ask us questions about the cases, they come after our credentials, our training, anything they can to discredit us, and so what ends up happening is the professionals around you get sucked into this vortex as well. But they're never ending, and especially if you don't have the finances. If you find out some of the lawyers that actually have experience with dealing with hostile clients and clients that have drug addictions and cluster B personality disorders, you notice that the retainer fee is sky high, that majority of you guys cannot afford. And they know this, because they know what kind of drama is going to take place in this courtroom, because the courtroom becomes their playground, becomes their, stage to perform. And for some narcissists who have the money to do it, they purposely do things in order to drain you of finances so they can have their way. They know what they're doing, especially if they have the money to pay for a lawyer. They stop it here, extend this here, do this right here, find this right here. They know that as much as they do, it just drains you, and they know you don't have the money to pay for it. And that's what they do. So now the courtroom becomes their battlefield to attack you, I would say covert. But if they can't attack you, and it doesn't, you are still going after them, they're coming after you now in the courtroom. So now they use the people around them, they influence people around them. And the sad part about it is that some lawyers are charmed by the narcissist. Some lawyers are narcissists, but they're charmed by the narcissist. If the narcissist strokes their ego, makes them feel good about themselves, because a lot of them have not been trained on these type of personality disorders. And then, lawyers are people too. Lawyers also are human beings that have holes in their heart, and they want to win cases. They want to be popular. They want to make, who doesn't? Who doesn't want to have business come to them? Who doesn't want to be one of the best lawyers within the state of, or the county of? It's a competition too, but it's about, that's how they make their money. That's how they gain their reputation. That's how they get clientele. They know that they're going to win this case. People are going to spend good money on making sure that these lawyers are paid to win their cases, but it becomes very expensive, because they know, that these cases can sometimes, they don't know what they're dealing with, but these cases can be really brutal, and it can mess with their reputation. It can, so that narcissist is always out to try to pay you back. And the place that it hurts the most is a lot of times in your personal belongings, in your finances, and especially in your children. They'll do anything to pay you back for not letting them have their way, for growing up, from detaching from them, from not allowing them to control you. They're always out to seek revenge. And so that's why I tell you guys, and many other coaches tell you the same thing, just because you have been no contact with that individual or you don't talk to them, don't ever assume they forgot. They haven't forgotten, and sometimes they just need everything to settle where they make a move. And you think, well, it's been so many years, the kids are grown. I'm not really concerned about that. We're on a different level. We've grown. They haven't grown, age-wise, chronologically, maybe physically, grown, but mentally and emotionally, they haven't grown. They've become more insidious. They've become more skilled at the manipulation. They've become, because they've had new sources of supply to train them. And so they have become more insidious. So when they approach you, they seem like a totally different person, more compassionate, more empathetic, totally different individual. And they're not, they're still the same. And then you open your arms like, well, it's been so many years. I think that we can, but you're opening up the door again. And this time it'll be worse because they haven't forgotten that you got away. You were the one who got away. And so now, this time, they're going to torment you even more. This time, they're going to make sure that and as soon as you make contact, you start feeling, oh, we can be best friends. Start feeling. You got to be careful. Never let your guards down dealing with a narcissist. Those of you that have had experience with a narcissist, your best bet is to stay no contact. There's no such thing as, well, we have mutual friends and we have mutual family and he or she invited me to the funeral. You better stay away. Whatever you have to do to safeguard yourself. I don't care what they say about you. You send flowers, you send a card, my condolences, thank you so much. Well, I don't understand why you can't you just put your differences aside? I understand that's how you see it, but for me, I have to safeguard myself, and I apologize that it inconveniences you. But for me and my mental health, I'm not going to be there, but I want you to know my deepest condolences, and I love you. You just won't be in the same place. Sad to say that some of you guys have children, you get married, guess who shows up? The narc. He or she, the narc shows up. So what you have to do is everything dealing with that ex-narcissist, you have to be strategic. You have to think strategic because they think it's strategic. They're trying to find a way to talk to you. It could be one text message. Hey, did you want me to buy the school supplies, or did you want to buy the school supplies, not buy the school clothes? The moment you say, oh, this is just a simple conversation. Nothing is a simple conversation. It opens up the door for more conversation. Then all of a sudden you find yourself just having a conversation. And you're like, well, I can send this text, and you having more and more conversation. You pull back in. They're working on you. They're very, very devious, manipulative, and they know what they're doing. Stay away. Stay no contact. They never stop. Some of them have found greater sources of supply where you're like, they haven't bothered me in years. Some of them have been put in jail, and it still doesn't stop them. I remember someone sent me a video. Was it Dear John, or whatever it is about John, or whoever the guy was, but he was a monster. He was like the Terminator. He was determined to destroy the whole family, and he just wouldn't stop. And the ex-stepdaughter that knew what was going on, he came after her with a vengeance and wouldn't stop until she ended up killing him. He just wouldn't stop. The police officers, the detectives, all the nurses, even the lawyer was like, they came after me. I just had to stop and back up. And the detective is like, sad to say, but I'm glad that the individuals did. Some of them are just that malignant. Never underestimate a narcissist. They always are thinking of how to get you back. Even if they see you and it is a accidental Hoover, they see you look good, you look like you've grown, you look like you fill back up with fuel, you got color in your face, your cheeks done filled back out, your hair grew, your patches of hair grew back, you look healthy, you look like you're doing well for yourself. They're coming. Be prepared. If they see you, they're coming. They never, ever stop. Stay no contact and do what you're doing. Is hard, but what decisions you make today will affect your future children, your grandchildren. Whatever decision you make today is going to affect your future. Get your emotions out of it and use your logic. Use your logic mind, not your emotional heart. Your heart will deceive you. The heart is deceptive. And if you don't ever make decisions based off of emotions. Make decisions based off of logic. Use sense. Use your common sense. No matter how hard it is, use your wisdom. Remember that. Thank you guys so much for joining me. I know it's a short video. I have a lot of clients and a lot of work, but I want to stay faithful and making sure I come and talk to you guys. Stay tuned because I'm setting up my podcast. Got to get my laptop, y'all. You guys supposed to be helping me out. What happened? There is a link underneath my YouTube video. If you guys would like to donate, you guys help me out. If not, it's prolonged. It's not like I'm not going to get it, because I'm getting the equipment in. As you see, I have my mic. I have 2 mics now, so I'm getting the equipment in. I got the stand that I need. I've got the lighting that I need. And so everything is coming in increments. But I got clinical priorities first. And so not saying that you guys are second priority, but, I got clinical priorities first dealing with clientele. If you donate, that'll help me out. It'll expedite what I'm doing. So you're welcome to give on PayPal, on Cash App. It is underneath my link. For those of you that are needing counseling, you go to my sponsored link. There's a sponsored link underneath my video in YouTube. It is betterhelp.com/Dr. Carmen. Low fee. You can put in your paperwork. Do not go in there looking for a therapist that specializes in narcissist abuse. You look for therapists that understand trauma-based therapy. They understand, you can ask them questions. Do you understand psychological abuse? Do you understand the aftermath of psychological abuse? PTSD, complex PTSD, trauma-focused therapy, and when you talk to them, doesn't mean you have to settle for them. But those of you that have reported back to me told me that it has been very effective. It is global. It is worldwide. And they will connect you to a licensed therapist that can talk to you on screen, telephonically, however you desire. Thank you guys so much. Also, make sure you go and check out my book, Unmasking the Illusion of Perfection. It is on Barnes & Noble and it is on Amazon. You can get it in Kindle, ebook, or you can get it in your hand to read the book. Share it with teenagers because you don't know what they're going through. A lot of them have already engaged in narcissistic relationships and that you don't even know that they have, and some of them will tell you later on in life. Some of you guys engaged at a young age didn't know what you were dealing with, but if you give them the information now, it'll help them for the future. It'll help eliminate some of the trauma that we've been through. And so I also have a Facebook page. It is Psychological Health Consultants and Services and Overcoming Narcissist Abuse. Hit the like button. Make sure you hit the subscribe button. Hit the bell so you know whenever I upload videos. Tuesday through Friday. Sunday I come on live 8 through 9 o'clock. Well, between 8 and 9 o'clock Pacific Standard Time, and it's open for question and answers. You can ask me whatever you like to ask, except for my age and my weight. And so thank you guys so much for tuning in. You guys have an awesome day and go be great.